Here beginneth the non-priestess tale of the cock and hen, Chanticleer and Pertelote. A pauvre widow, some del stopen age, was whilom dwelling in a narway cottage, beside a grove, standing in a dale. This widow, of which I tell ya my tale, 4015 sin thilkday that she was last to wif, in patience lada a full simple life, for litel was here cattle and here raunt, by husbandry, of such as God here sente, she fond herself, and eke here doctrine too. 4023 large sows had she, and nammo, 11, 3 kwayan, and eke a sheep that hike mal. Full sooty was here boar, and eke here hally, in which she eat full many a splendra meal. Of poignant sauce here Ned never a deal. 4025 no dainty morsel passed third here throat, here diet was accordant to here coat. Replection any made here never as like a temporary diet was al here physic, and exercise, and hurt suffisance. 4030 the gout let here nothing for the dance, 21, napoplexy shent nat here heed, no when any drank she, neither whyt any read, here board was served most with whyt and black, milk and brune breed, in which she fond no lack, 4035 sane bacoun, and sometime an ey or tway, for she was as it were a man or die. 4011, ehn stape, lane stoop, rest stope. 4013, e green. 4021, e keen, hn hlcp kyn. 4031, ehn napoplexy, rest napoplexy. 272, t 14853, 14887. A yurt she had, enclosed a boot with sticks, and a dry dike with it, in which she had a cock, height Chanticleer, 4040 inches al the land of crowing neas his peer. 31, his voice was merrier than the merry organ on mess days that in the church gone, wel sicherer was his crowing in his log, than as a clock, or an abbey orlaga. 4045 by nature knew he ascension of equinoxial and filk tune, for 1 degrees 15 were ascended, then crew he, that it might not been amended. His comb was redder than the foon coral, 4050 and betailed, as it were a castle wall. 41, his bile was black, and as the yeeted shoon, like osser were his legs, and his tune, his nailess whitter than the lily flower, and like the burned gold was his color. 4055 this shanty cock had in his governance savine hennis, for to dunal his plaisance, which were his susters and his paramours, and wonder like to him, as of colors. Of which the fairest a hued on here throat 4060 was cleaped fair damosel Pertelote. 51, courteous she was, discreet, and debonair, and companionable, and bar herself so fair, sin day that she was 7 night old, that truly she hath the herd in hold 4065 of Chanticleer Locan in every lith, he loved her so, that wel was him therewith. But such a ioi was it to hear ham singe, one that the bright sun gone to springe, in sweet accord, my leaf is fair and in land. 4070 for thilk time, as I have understand, 61, bests and brids could speak and singe. 4039, ehn, heat, cp that height, rest that height. 4041, ehn, cm, murier. cm, muri. 4045, hl knew he, pt he crew, rest he knew. 4046, lane ins. The after of. 4051, hl geet, pt lane geet. 4054, hlcp pt lane burnished. 4062, hl full, for so. 4068, cm lane bygan. 273, t 14888, 14924. And so biful, that in a dawning, as Chanticleer among his wives Ella sat on his perchy, that was in the halley, 4075 and next him sat this fair Pertelote, this Chanticleer gone groanin in his throat, as man that in his dream is dretched sore. And one that Pertelote thus heard him roar, she was aghast, and said, O herd dear, 4080 what ileth thou, to groan in this manner? 71, ye been a very slepper, fy for shame. And he answered and said thus, Madam, I pray yow, that ye take it nat a grief. By God, me meta I was in switch mischief 4085 right now, that yet yn heard is sore affright. Now God, quod he, my sweethin recche aright, and keep my body out of foul prison. Me meta, how that I roamed up and down within our yard, whereas I saw a best, 4090 was like an hound, and wolde han mad arrest, 81, upon my body, and wolde han had me deed. His colour was bitwixt yelway and reed, and tipped was his tail, and bode his earies, with black, unlike the remnant of his hayrace, 4095 his snout small, with glowing de eye and tway. Yet of his look for fear almost I die, this caused me my groaning, due de lees. 4072, A, E, Pt the 4079, E, O, rest OM 4084. Meta, E, thought. 4086, EHN erecche, CM richi, rest read, read. 4091, EHN, CM, OM wolde. Avoy, quod she, FY on yao, her delise. Alice, quod she for, by that God above, 4100 now han ye lost myn hurt and el my love, 91, I can nat love a coward, by my faith. For certes, whatso any woman seeth, we ella desiren, if it might be, to han husbands hearty, wise, and free, 4105 and secree, and no niggard, ne no fool, na him that is aghast of every tool, ne none vaunter, by that God above. How dorst ye sain for shame unto your love, 274, T 14925, 14960. That anything might make yow afeard? 4110 have ye no man's hurt, and han a bird? 101, Allahs. And con ye been aghast of Swevenes? Nothing, God what, but vanity, in Sweven is. Swevenes engendren of replections, and oft of fume, and of complexions, 4115 one humour's been do abundant in a white. Certes this dream, which ye han met tonight, cometh of the greta superfluity of your reed cholera, pardie, which causeth folk to dread in and hear dreams 4120 of ours, and of fyr with reed lamies, 111, of greta bests, that they will hem bite, of contec, and of whelps greta and light, right as the humour of melancholy causeth full many a man, in sleep, to cry, 4125 for fear of Blake Barris, or Bulls Blake, or else, Blake devils wole hem take. Of other humours could I tell also, that work in many a man in sleep full wa, but I will passe as lightly as I can. 4117, EOM the, and has greet. 4119, EHN CM Drayden, rest Drayman, C 4159. 4121, E Greta, rest read. 4125, so eat HNCM, CP of Barrison of Bulls, Lane PT of Barrison Bulls, HL of Barris or of Bulls. 4130 Lo Catown, which that was so wys a man, 121, said he nat thus, and he do no furs of dreams? Now, sire, quod she, when we flee fro the beams, for God's love, as tax some laxative, up peril of my soul, and of my life, 4135 I counsel ya the best, I will not lie, that boda of cholera and of melancholy ye purge yow, and for ye shall not tarry, though in this tune is noon apothecary, I shall myself to herds techen yow, 4140 that shall bend for your hele, and for your prow, 131, and in our yard though herds shall I find, the wish han of here property, by kind, to purge in yow by knee, and eke above. Forget not this, for God's own love. 275, T 14961, 14996. 4145 Ye been full choleric of complexion. Where the sun in his ascension to find yow nat replete of humours oat, and if it do, I dar wel lay a groat, that ye shall have a fever tertian, 4150 or an ague, that may be your bane. 141, a day or two ye shall have digestive of worms, ye take your laxatives, of L'Oreal, Centaur, and Fumitir, or else of Elabor, that groweth there, 4155 of Catapus, or of Gatrasperius, of Herbive, growing in our yard, that merry is, peck hem upright as they grow, and eat hem in. Be merry, house bond, for your fader kin. Dreadeth no dream, I can say yow na more. 4132, ye, rest we. 4136, 7. HLOM 4155. CP Lane Gatrace, E Gatres, HN Gatres, HL Gatre, CM Gatras, PT Gates. 4156, Lane that, HN, they, rest there. 4160 Madam, quod he, grunt mercy of your lore. 151, but Nathelese, as touching Don Catoun, that hath of wisdom such a great renown, though that he bad no dreams for to dreed, by God, men may in old books read 4165 of many a man, more of auctority than ever Catoun was, so mote I thee, than all the revere sain of his sentence, and han wel found in by experience, that dreams bend significations. 4170 is wel of Ioia's tribulations. 161, that folk endurin in this life present. There ne doth make of this noon argument, the very preve sheweth it indeedy. 4166 HNCM CP mote, e moot. 4167, his, pt this. 4170 ECM CP lane HL ins. Of after as. One of the greatest doctors that men read 4175 seeth thus, that whilom two fellows went on pilgrimage, in a full good entente, and hapso, they come into a tune, whereas there was switch congregation of people, and eke so stride of herbergage, 4180 that they any found as mush as o cottage, 276, T14997, 15033. 171, in which they bota might wylog be. Were for Thamos 10, of necessity, as for that night, departin campaign, and eke of hem goth to his hostelry, 4185 and took his logging as it wolde fall. That oon of hem was logged in a stall, fair in a yard, with oxen of the plough, that other man was logged wel enough, as was his aventure, or his fortune, 4190 that us governeth LA is in commune. 4174, CM Autoris, HL Octorite, Rest Octor, sick. 4177, EHN Kumenin, CM Komenin. 4181, E. Logged. 181, and so biful, that, lunger it were day, this man meta in his bed, there's he lay, how that his fila gone up on him kaye, and said, Alice. For in an ox's stall 4195 this night I shall be Mordred there I lie. Now help me, dear brother, I die, in Allah haste come to me, he said. This man out of his sleep for fear abraid, but one that he was wind of his sleep, 4200 he turned him, and took of this no keep, 191, him thought his dream ne'as but a vanity. Thus twice in his sleeping dreamed he. And at thrid time yet his fila cam, as him thought, and seed, I am now slaw, 4205 behold my bloody wounds, depe and wide. Aries up early in the Morway tide, and at the west gate of the tune, quod he, a cart full of dong de Sheltaussee, in which my body is hid full prively, 4210 do thil cart arresin boldly. 201, my gold caused my Mordre, sooth to sayin, and told a him every point how he was slain, with a full patoo's face, pale of hue. And trust wel, his dream he fond full true, 4215 for on the Morway, as soon as it was day, to his fellows and he took the way, and one that he cam to this ox's stall, 277, T15034, 15069. After his fila he began to kaye. 4194, HLCP Lane Ox. 4196, Lane AR, EHN HL or. 4200, it, rest this. 4210, arresin. 4217, HLCP Lane Ox. The hostler answered him anon, 4220 and said, Sire, your fila is agon, 211, as soon as day he went out of the tune. This man gone fallen in suspicion, remembering on his dreams that he meta, and forth he goth, no langer wolde he let, 4225 under the west gate of the tune, and found a dongcart, as it were to dong London, that was arrayed in the same wise as ye han heard the deedy man devise, and with an hearty hurt he gone to cry 4230 vengeance and iestus of this felony, 221, my fila Mordred is this same night, and in this cart he lieth gapping upright. I cry out on the ministers, quod he, that shoulden keep and reulen this city, 4235 Harrow. Allahs! Her life my fila slain. What should I more unto this tale sayin? The people outstirred, and cast the cart to ground, and in the mid-dell of the dawn they found the deedy man, that Mordred was Al knew. 4219, CPHL answered, EHN answered. 4222, HL ins. I after in, CPPT lane ins. Greta. 4226 HNCM HL went as it were, CPPT lane as he went. 4232 EHNCM Lins. Hereafter cart. 4240 O blissful God, that art so highest and true. 231 Lo, how that thou byriest Mordre alway. Mordre wool out, that see we day by day. Mordre is so latsome and abominable to God, that is so highest and reasonable, 4245 that he will not suffer it hellate be, though it abide a year, or two, or three, Mordre wool out, this my conclusion. And right anon, ministers of that tune han hent the carter, and so sore impined, 4250 and eke the hostler so sore engined, 241, that they bicknew her wickedness anon, and were enhanged by the neck bone. 4247 EHNCM this is being pronounced this, rest this is. 4248 HL Inns. The afternoon. Here may men seen that dreams been to dreed. 278 T15070 15105. And certes, in the same book I read, 4255 right in the next chapter after this, I gab nat, so have I o your bliss, two men that wolehan passed over sea, for certain cause, into a fair country, if that the wind any had been contrary, 4260 that made Heminus a tea for to tarry, 251, that stood full merry upon an haven side. But on a day, again the eventide, the wind gone change, and blew right as hem lest. Iolif and glad they went unto her rest, 4265 and cast in him full early for to sail, but to that o man fill a great merveil. That one of him, in sleeping as he lay, him met a wonder dream, again the day, him thought a man stood by his bedside, 4270 and him commanded, that he should abide, 261, and said him thus, if thou to Morway wendy, thou shalt be draint, my tale is at an endy. He wook, and told his fela what he meta, and prayed him his voyage for to let, 4275 as for that day, he prayed him to abide. His fela, that lay by his bedside, gone for to laugh, and scorned him full fast. No dream, quod he, may so myn hurt aghast, that I will let for to do my things. 4280 I set not a straw by thy dreaminges, 271, for sweevings been but vanities and iops. Men dream all they of ols or of apes, and eke of many a maze therewithal, men dream of thing that never was in eshell. 4285 But sith I see that thou wilt here abide, and thus forslithen woefully thy tide, God would it re-with me, and have good day. And thus he took his leave, and went his way. But ere that he had half his course sailed, 279, T15106, 15141. 4290 Newt I nat why, in what mischanced ild, 281, but casually the ships bought me ront, and ship and man under the water went in sight of other ships at byside, that with hem sailed at the same tide. 4295 And therefore, fair pertilode so dear, by switch and samples old mystolier, that no man should been to retchelies of dreams, for I say thee, dudelies, that many a dream full sore is for to dreed. 4256 CP Lane and 4 or. 4266 All Inns. Herkneth, Herken, after but. 4274 EHN HLOM4, CFL 4265. 4275 EHN Bide. 4282 EHN or Rest End. 4283 HLEK Rest OM 4293. It CPPTM Lane Hem HL there. 4296 E Inns. Yet after old.